A very good evening, Namaste, Pranam, warm regards from Himalaya. There is an apparent change in weather and there are cataclysmic changes in the global situations around the world. All of us are continue to suffer coronavirus pandemic. We continue to face its ugly and cacophonic music around the world. Our country is no exception. Our dynamic leadership, our corona warriors, our fighters, all those at the vanguard of the very protection of life are there for us. And meanwhile, these online discourses and reflections on life, love, longings, education, attitudes, reflections on various issues are going on. So, dear friends, hope all of you are fine. This is an exclusive talk on platform of Sri Aurobindo Foundations for Indian Culture, motivated and guided by Dr. Sampadananda Mishra, prominent Indologist, Sanskrit scholar, and our elder brother who is doing seminal work for the dissemination of Sri Aurobindo's light and message. This program is exclusively fixed for the sesquicentennial or 150th birth anniversary that will fall on 2022. So this is a long preparation for that, touching that finish line and to make Sri Aurobindo known for a better and wider world across. So this is one of the series of talks that is prepared for making Sri Aurobindo available and in the consciousness of the world. All glory, all thanks to Sampadanand Bhaiji. Today's topic is Sri Aurobindo on original thinking. Very relevant, very pertinent, very live and very exclusive topic. A much needed topic, a much needed reflection that we need to know, because as human beings, we have one exclusive knack, and that knack, that splendid instinct is that we can think originally. One of the beauties, one of the greatest things that God has done in the miracle of existence and in the miracle of creation is that He has created this world immensely diversified. No two persons are like or identical. Even in identical twins, there are differences in tastes and intellectual predilections and their vision of life. They may be similar in looking, but they are diverse in their intellectual makeup. So birds, sights, sounds, countries, climes, people, movies, continents, everything is diversified. So uniformity can never be the rule of life. Sri Aurobindo says in the human cycle that life exists by diversity. And diversity of opinion is one of the most fundamental requires that a human society needs in order to make requisite or definite progress in all walks of life. We can see that in the States, in the United States, or in the Western world as a whole, there have been immense diversity and immense respect for the diversity of opinion. And hence, their progress, their multifaceted progress in science, arts, technology, their university system, their democratic system, their public civic sense, their responsibility and sense of respect for the institutions, everything is commendable, and we are much intrigued and enthused with that. So, dear friends, the talk is exclusively in English, but off and on we will switch over to Hindi to make things more clear and cogent for a wider audience, a wider friend circle of mine. We have exclusively taken this book and Essays Divine and Human by Sri Aurobindo, and in this book is compiled one remarkable essay on original thinking. So I will be especially focusing on that essay, on that collection of ideas, beautiful new lights, eye-opener things are written there by the Mahayogi. And But before that, a very rapid survey of the world scenario. Have you ever thought why Christ was crucified? Why Bruno was, given the Inquisition, the punishment, the fierce punishment of Inquisition? Why Socrates was given hemlock poison? Why Mansur was eliminated very mercilessly just for saying Anlahak, Anlahak, Anlahak? All rebel rousers, all radicals, all original prophets have been wiped by humanity because we are a people, a world of mediocre thinkers. People are busy in ordinary things. They will never appreciate genius. They will never appreciate special thinkers because the very core of original thinking is shake the base of established things or establishment. Look what happened in the French Revolution by those three watchwords: liberty, equality, and brotherhood. Though brotherhood, equality, liberty is never to be seen in the world even after over 150 years of the revolution. And look at what happened to all other revolutions because the base was totally different. But the world killed Christ, the world hanged many other rebel rousers, many other original thinkers, Thomas Becket, Thomas More. We have glaring examples across history, across people, across continents, when independent minded, forward minded people have been eliminated. Galileo Galilei, today widely recognized as a very greatest, one of the greatest leading lights in the field of astronomy, and supposed an inspiration for science giant like Einstein and Newton. But in his lifetime, Galileo was forced to recant his views or else to face the same fate of Christ or other rebels. So, this world, people of ordinary consciousness are here. They want to enjoy ordinariness. I am reminded of a beautiful quotation by Kashmiri author Krishna Chandra. कृष्ण चंद्र कश्मीर के बड़े लेखक हैं, उर्दू के बड़े लेखक. उर्दू में उन्होंने एक्सक्लूसिवली लिखा और एक गधे की आत्मकथा जैसे 107 पेज की छोटी सी किताब उनका है जिसपे पंडित नेहरू से लेकर के और बहुत आजादी के इमीडिएट दौर का सर्वे है. उसमें वो कहते हैं कि जो लोग खाने पीने में ही, जो लोग मतलब बिल्कुल गोल मटोल हैं, बिल्कुल जिनको जो लोग अपनी मटेरियल आवश्यकताओं में ही रमे हुए हैं, उनमें और उबले हुए आदमी में, आलुओं में कोई फर्क नहीं है. उनको कोई केयर नहीं है. दे डोंट बोदर फॉर द वर्ल्ड, दे डोंट बोदर फॉर अदर्स पेन एंड सफरिंग एंड डिप्राइवेशन और द वर्ल्ड कंडीशंस. इफ यू कांट फील फॉर अदर्स, you are not a human being. After penning 18 voluminous Puranas, what is the conclusion by Ved Vyas? Just a week ago, I was in his cave, very close to his cave in Badrinath. The gist is Astadash Puranasya Vyasasya Vachanadvayam Paropkar Punyaya Papaya Parpidanam. It is an ugly sin to torture or to inflict atrocities on others. And the best face of human being or human glory is to do good to others. Paropkar. There is no good like doing paropkar or charity or altruism or philanthropy. When you live for others, you live in the true sense of the word. So, Sri Aurobindo has given us one remarkable term, intellectual aristocrat. I have never seen this word in any writings of any other Indian philosopher or for that matter philosopher from the Western world. He has given us this term, intellectual aristocracy. India has never been a place of business or commerce, or at least commerce has never been the predominant aspect of Indian life. Though we have never ignored any of these things. We have made tremendous progress in science, in art, in architecture, in scripture, in religion, in all aspects of life. We never ignored commerce because that too was part of life, and we were very much advanced in commerce before the Britishers landed on the Indian shore. But our lifeblood, was thought. Our lifeblood was spirituality. Our contribution to the world was the research that we do, or our sages and saints and savants did with the spirit. India was predominantly a land of spirituality, of dharma, of shastra, of Vijanan, of Atman, of Anandamaya Jivan. We had that master key with us. So, from intellectual aristocracy to intellectual impoverishment, this is the sad saga that Indians are facing currently. Look at the repercussions that we see around of us. Western influence, the influence of colonialism. We call it colonial hangover. In many of colonial era laws are applicable. Many of life visions are applicable. Many of the cream of the society, what we call in French cream de la creme. The best thinking people of the society are still much influenced by that Western mindset. They want to know India, to understand India through a Western trajectory or through a Western prism. And that's why they never understand India. So Sri Aurobindo comments very comprehensively in this essay on original thinking. But before that, I have often quoted one beautiful quotation from his Life Divine. Despite all these absurdities, despite all these deformities, these poor things, these ugly things that human life is preoccupied with, or human mind is preoccupied with, we are still the best creation on earth. The most supreme and sublime and splendid things have been created by human beings, not by any animal. Tiger was 20,000 years back, he was in the den and is still living in the den. An ugly or ferocious bear is still mauling people like an ugly creature. But human being has made a tremendous journey of creation, of life, of creativity, of thought, of sublimation of thought, of ideas, of adventure, of innovation. We have made remarkable progress. आदमी महान क्यों है, इस पर श्री अरविंद का शानदार कोटेशन है एक लाइफ डिवाइन, और वो कोटेशन इस प्रकार है: The animals are content with the modicum of necessity. The animals are satisfied with the modicum of necessity. पशुओं को जितना चाहिए आहार, निंद्रा, भय, मैथुन, थोड़ा बहुत उसी में पशु खुश हैं. The gods are content with their splendors. देवता अपने ही वैभव लोक में खुश हैं. क्या वैभव है देवताओं का? They have at their disposal Rambha, Urvashi, Menka, Tilotama, like celestial nymphs. It is believed, at least in Indian religious traditions, that the gods never age. देवता बूढ़े नहीं होते हैं कभी. श्री राम को आपने कभी खांसते हुए नहीं देखा होगा. श्री कृष्ण को कभी दमा का मरीज नहीं देखा होगा. It is believed that they never age, they never grow old. And they have everything at their disposal. कुछ भी उनके लिए मुश्किल नहीं है. वो देव हैं, ईश्वर है, ऐश्वर्य है उनके पास, इसलिए वो ईश्वर है. तो उनसे भी एक तरह का दे आर ऑल्सो कंटेंटेड विद देयर स्प्लेंडर्स. लेकिन आदमी के लिए क्या कहते हैं श्री अरविंद? मैन कैन नॉट रेस्ट परमानेंटली अनलेस ही रीचेस सम हाईएस्ट गुड. ही इज द ग्रेटेस्ट ऑफ लिविंग बीइंग्स because he is the most discontented, because he feels most the pressure of his limitations. आदमी परमानेंटली कहीं रेस्ट नहीं कर सकता. आदमी सबसे ज्यादा महान इसलिए है कि वो सबसे ज्यादा असंतुष्ट है, वो सबसे ज्यादा नाराज है अपने आप से. उसका सारा का सारा सृजन, सारा का सारा क्रिएशन, उसके जीवन में सारी की सारी ब्यूटी इसलिए है कि वो अपने आज से नाराज है, अपनी आज की स्थिति से नाराज है. जो अंडर डिवेलप्ड हैं वो डेवलपिंग कंट्रीज को देख रहे हैं, जो डेवलपिंग कंट्री हैं वो डेवलप्ड वर्ल्ड को देख रहे हैं, जो डेवलप्ड वर्ल्ड हैं वो फिर उसी आयरोनिकली वो फिर उसी आदिम जनजाति वाले को देख रहे हैं कि सुख उसकी झोपड़ी में. द साइकिल इज गोइंग ऑन. But we want to achieve, to scale, to admire, to appreciate, to surmount new peaks with every